Ready? Ready, say, go. All right, this week's Parsha is Tzav. Okay, and Aharon was commanded how to dress, how to prepare. It's all about the different karbanos they bring. So one of the karbanos they bring is the karban toda. That's to give hoda'ah, to thank for everything that happens, and especially in certain situations. So there are 4 situations that are actually dangerous. It's considered dangerous. And it's when we cross the water, when we go through a desert, or other such situations, when we come out of a prison, or when we have sickness. And the karban toda had to be consumed by the time it was midnight, and it had to be done in Yerushalayim. Now, even I, who am a very good eater, might require my friends and family to help. So that was one of the reasons it had to be done in a short space of time with a lot of food, so that more people would participate and realize the miracles of Hashem. And I just want to say that very often in our lives, we feel this way, that we like to bench gomel. So I have a few come Erev Pesach that we might think that we have to bench gomel. Gomel is from the word gamal, because Hashem was so good to us. Well, first of all, it's like the word gamal, camel, which means anytime you get off or on a camel, ta-da, you have to bench gomel, wake up. Also, if you get off and out of gourmet lot,
the parking lot,
without the parking lot or on the line, you have to bench gomel. Many of us, when you get through this shidduch crisis, that's worse than a desert because it's very, very dry. Of course, when you finish cleaning for Pesach or finish packing, whichever you do, you should bench gomel. Then again, when you get out of the prison of eating all that matzah, when you feel all that constriction, may you be free from it afterwards. When you have to spend time, some of us, not me, with your mother-in-law or daughter-in-law, if you get through that without having any negative feelings, that's for sure. The years when you had to get through your homework with your kids and making sure they didn't eat anything off the floor, and now you want to see if they'll eat your food and get through it. Getting out of an expensive store without spending too much money, right? And then getting back and finding that you didn't have a ticket. That's a bench gomel if you didn't get a ticket, and if you did, how you tell it to your husband without getting in big trouble. And of course, the big one is getting through. It's spelled a little differently. They spell it desert, D-E-S-E-R-T. I spell it D-E-S-S-E-R-T. Getting through dessert and not getting too much weight the whole Pesach. So after that, we have to bench gomel. So that's your times to bench gomel. Now, of course, the other one, there was a korban chatas. That was the sin offering. Now, the sin offering was given in the same place as the burnt offering. Why? Because how would it look if you marched up there and everyone knew that you were coming to give a sin offering? So you don't want to embarrass the person. We're very conscious not to embarrass, so we do it in the same place as a voluntary offering. So nobody knows what you're really there for. The Torah, and we have to be very cognizant not to embarrass someone. Sometimes, the great rabbi, somebody spilled some wine at the table and he purposely spilled some too, so he wouldn't draw attention to that person. Now also there was a constantly burning fire on the altar. Once it was lit, it burnt and it burnt. And the thing was, we still had to add wood to it. Why? Even though it was burning, and even though Hashem made sure it was burning, because we have to make our hishtadlus. We have to put in that wood. We have to put in that effort. That's why the Torah scrolls are made out of wood. You know what they're on, and that's why the first tree was wood. Because it has very significance. And I'll end with something we're all can relate to. There was the deshen. There was this ashes that the Kohen had to clean up afterwards. Now, he had to get dressed in order to do this. So why is it that he had to get dressed? And then afterwards, he had to get undressed. All right? So the ashes are symbolic, he comes, and they did it with such pride, because even when we take out the garbage, even when we do menial things, even when we do things that are a little, so to speak, get our hands dirty, we have to do it, and we have to do it with pride and get dressed, because we're still serving Hashem. It says that you have to change your clothes afterwards, but it was optional. Why after Trumat Hadeshin was it only optional to change the clothes, even though we know in Talmud Chacham, if he gets himself dirty or he has even a stain, he's liable for the death penalty. Why? Because he's representing a Kiddush Hashem. So it's very important to dress nice. But why doesn't he has to change his clothes, the Kohen, but only voluntarily. Why? Because this is, so to speak, a badge of honor. He was indulging. He was part of the mitzvah of doing something for Hashem. If you get food on yourself or dirt on yourself while you're overeating, while you're doing something you're not supposed to, that's not nice. But if you're doing it to show, listen, I got my hands dirty while I was carrying things, food to give to poor people, that's different. So of course we have to know that